What's really good, Posters? Welcome to another episode of Love, War, Challenges. I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Lowder. In today's episode, CT's character come into question, the most protected woman in the game finds herself into elimination, and Leo becomes Spartacus trying to lead a rookie revolution. But first, Challenge legend CT struggles mightily in today's daily challenge. The self-proclaimed 45-year-old overweight challenger with bad knees couldn't bring himself to climb a ladder in the Heights over water daily challenge. Ruins my life. CT performance had been notably subpar when it's a girls' elimination day. Claims being out of shape and a mild form of PTSD kept him from performing in the way we're used to. Tyler, who are you siding with? Do you have sympathy for CT's fall-induced fear, or do you think he intentionally threw the challenge, something he has never done before?
So let's cover all grounds. Okay, so CT has notoriously thrown challenges in the past before. We have known that he has done this when he is safe, and it is to kind of trim the fat, as he would say in other seasons. I don't think he threw it here. I think that fear of that fall at his age, with that injury he had, because I think he did something to his tailbone, didn't he, on season 40? That
Yeah.
like he was actually injured. So like this is again nothing against like Nehemiah or anything like that, but I don't know how much like shape CT was in competitive wise, outside of just pushing himself to continue for season 40 after that fall. And now that PTSD is there, that fear is there, and it's like, you know what? He's like he's in his 40s. Does he want to risk getting hurt again like that? Especially when he is safe. And you don't know. He doesn't know. I mean, Leka goes up, gets all five of them. They make it up there before another team. There is another team that doesn't even get all five. And so, in my eyes, I'm like, yeah, okay, we're first. If somebody else DQs, we at least perform better. And so, yeah, that's where it is. I have 100% sympathy for CT. I was getting pissed just like watching the show and every single person dogging on him and jumping on him and everything like that. Like, if Kara was here, Kara wouldn't have done that. If Bananas was here, Bananas wouldn't have done that. Like, it's if some of the elite challengers were here, they wouldn't have done that. They wouldn't have dogged on him the way they did. We even hear somebody go, like, Anissa talks about that PTSD in a confessional, which obviously means that it was way later, the confessional and everything. Because if you're having that confessional like a day or two later, you should at least go up and explain stuff. And then he gets sabotaged in the kitchen, like the whole thing. I could never imagine jumping into a professional sport and somebody that has been like one of the goats for decades and then just start shitting on them when they're at the end of their career. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
See, for me, it's more than one thing can be true. Do I think this is a fear-induced PTSD? Absolutely. I mean, it's okay to be scared for falling from that height. Um, I've been blessed where my house is pretty big, and I every time I look at the stairs, it pisses me off. In fact, the only reason why I'm hungover is because I hate having to go up and down the stairs. So I just fill this huge thing, this huge mason jar up, because I want to make sure I don't have to do an extra going up and down. So I get that. But let me tell you why CT deserves to be looked at this way. He is known for throwing challenges, and his behavior this season, it leads to confirmation that he may be taking it light on the girls' days and days that he's safe. I believe everything he said is true. I think he came in this season a little round. I think his knees are a little bit fucked up, and I think he's absolutely scared for falling from a big height. And that's valid, and he shouldn't be made fun of for that. But having his feet put to the fire for maybe throwing a challenge, something you have done repeatedly and you are kind of known for doing, you deserve it. It's like the boy who cried wolf. You kept doing it, and now when people question it, you can't be mad at people questioning it. I do think his reaction to that is okay because it does feel like your character is coming into question, but your character wouldn't have been in question if it wasn't questionable to begin with.
But as soon as he's like, that's not the case. Like, it's not. Yeah, let's play devil's advocate here. Not because like we're all big CT fans. Every challenge person should be a big CT fan. But
how do you hate the guy?
Literally, we open up the episode with Leo going, rookies have to stay strong. We have to get the vets out. Okay, well, we've come to learn. CT's 4 wins in the past 7 seasons, right?
Right.
That CT can adapt. Oh no, I'm kind of out of shape here. You know what? Maybe I need to play this like low key. Let me just pair with, let me pair with Big T and we'll just kind of work here. And like, I'm not a threat. And then I get here. And now I'm in the final and now I win. Maybe, just maybe, CT couldn't do it, but also knew that if he gets last place, a rookie goes in, thus creating a balance on the rookies and vets. I'm not saying that he did or could thought this way, but if it comes out that CT's like, oh yeah, anytime I'm partnering with a rookie female, she's going into elimination because I'm going to be safe. Like, in my head, I'm like, that's actually smart gameplay, especially when it is one side or the other.
Was it, listen, do I think it's 100% intentional? Probably not. But was he motivated to really do well? Is this something that's going to be worth the fall if he does fall? Probably not. Guess what? It's not the worst gameplay, but I can definitely understand that. But yeah, don't be all pissy because everybody's questioning your character when you're the one who put it into question in the first place.
And I mean, we're going to talk about this daily a little bit too and everything, but I thought it was interesting because like Leka and CT, or just Leka, they got all 5 relics. They finished the puzzle. They got back to the dock. Whereas Leroy and Izzy didn't even get the 5th relic. They didn't finish the puzzle. They didn't even get back to the thing. And yet, only because CT didn't climb a ladder, like he still attempted the ladder. He still swam out there. He still swam back. He still helped with the puzzle. It's interesting to me that they allowed that to be last place versus a team that didn't even finish the thing at all. Because there is a difference.
I definitely feel you. I mean, CT's performance was garbage, but Leka did put on a clinic. She ran the whole thing by herself, and it seemed like it was really good speed, and it all meant absolutely nothing. I personally, I think I'm kind of with you on this one. I think production should have shot her some bail, a little bit. I think she did really, really well. And I think having CT play such a big factor in pulling it back, considering that the whole thing was done, I think they could have shot her some bail.
Yeah. It's interesting, just the way it was all kind of laid out and everything. And that's just me. I'm not saying it had to go a certain way or be a certain way, but in my mind, like Izzy and Leroy were last because they didn't even complete it. Even if CT didn't contribute, we've had tons of dailies where one person does almost everything and the other person just does like, they're there. Like, so.
100%. Moving on from Leka, I want to talk about Leo. All season, Leo has been trying to unify the rookies to take some big swings at the vets. And with the ouster Johnny Bananas, it seemed to have gained some speed. Leo then goes on to win the daily. He takes a swing at the chosen girl, Olivia. Do you think that Leo might be the right person to lead this rookie revolution?
He's vocal. He's kind of just there, and it's not even like he's just trying to work with like his friends that are rookies. It's everybody. Like, yeah, I understand you're with this UK alliance and you have some vets and rookies. I understand that you want to work with Anissa. I understand blah, blah, blah. You're friends with Leroy. Rookies stay together. So, yes, because he's the only person speaking up. This kind of, I try and like read these things to see if I should care about these characters, these rookies, And it reeks to me of, I want to come back to this. I'm enjoying this. I like this. I'm going to make a name for myself and I'm going to come back to this. So, I mean, we'll see. It seems like a returning type player. But it's smart. It's a very smart move. For fans, it's not smart. Fans don't like it because some of our worst seasons are when rookies kind of dominate and you don't really have depth of who they are.
Dumb fans don't like this. Guess what? CT just told you. 45, overweight, bad knees, him, Bananas, Nani, Leroy. They don't got so much more in them. In all reality, I hate to say it, but Nani and Leroy are probably never going to win one. They're not in their prime. Don't get me wrong.
Double Agents was probably their last chance.
And these rookies have been putting on a clinic. You see what Leo and Sydney was able to do. They are killing it. They have, all reality, not only do they have the personalities for it, these Love Island people are some of the most gorgeous, absolute people in the world, and they are physically straight to start doing this, and they have great personalities. And then you throw in some of the foreigners, a lot of people from the UK. The writing is on the wall, and they have the personalities to carry this over for another 40 seasons.
So something that wasn't talked about, I don't know if you noticed this, but they didn't even tell us like the placements of everybody. We didn't even see that.
No.
However, points were given out because there were placements and everything. Eric Chavez and Adrian actually got second.
Really? I did not notice that at all.
Fun fact, Adrian has gotten second 3 episodes in a row now. She went from 000 to 777. Just saying, it's
and she's well liked in the house, has the respect of everybody in the house. And one of the things that I did notice about her last season, oh, she is thick. No comment there? All right.
No comment, because I don't care about that. I'm legit here for like the sports entertainment aspect of it. That's
all
fine.
right. That's you. I'm here for the thickness. But
one thing we can kind of touch on and think about with Leo and everything is that while this power thing is great and he won his first daily, it's only like the 3rd time in these 6 dailies that he's even placed in the top 8. So having all this, like, I want this to happen, you have to be able to win. Like we saw this with the downfall of Wes on Fresh Meat 2. You know, where the first like 4 or 5 episodes, complete control. It doesn't matter who wins dailies because he has so many numbers. But eventually when the numbers get whittled down, you have to be able to perform in those dailies to also follow up with like what you're trying to deliver, because then you get ultimate power. And if you don't have that power, you don't have as much control as you want. And so if Leo wants to maintain this, he's got to start doing better than, 3 top 8 finishes.
I agree with you 100%. When it's all said and done, you're going to have to perform. But it does seem like he is starting to heat up a little bit. So hopefully he can carry that momentum going forward. Now, the beautiful, gorgeous Lizzie Fairthorne, who is seemingly straddling the fence of the Rookie Revolution and Team UK, has been trusted with pulling off the rookies' misdirection play, which she promptly goes to Olivia with. This screams rat core to me. In your opinion, can Izzy be trusted?
By Olivia and by maybe some of the vets.
She can be trusted by your enemies.
By the rookies, no. But here's the thing. And this is a classic Survivor thing. Even though everybody says, you're not going in. Don't worry, you're not going in. We're just throwing your name out there. Why are they so willing to throw your name over all the other rookies? It wasn't even who should we put in?
I think it's because she does have, she is friendly with Olivia and the other side. So it's like, hey, we're not going to vote you in. You definitely don't have to worry about the other side voting you in. That made sense to me. But also, I think it also helped the rookies really smoke out and forced her to pick a side. And for the love of God, I cannot figure out why your side is to be at the bottom of the UK side.
For who? For Izzy?
For Izzy, yeah.
But I don't think she really is at the bottom of the UK, because I think that she competitively could probably keep up and could maybe beat some people in that group. Here's the situation. If I'm the rookies, you need to have this conversation where you already know Izzy is probably not going to like being the conversation vote of maybe going in. You already know that she's close to Olivia and that Olivia's going to freak out. Why not just do 2 names at a time? Why don't you tell somebody else to go, okay, Izzy. It sucks being there. I'll also be the one. Like, hey, tell people that you're deciding between me and Izzy. And then that way Izzy can at least see like, okay, it's not just everybody here is pointing at me saying I'm the bottom of the rookies. It's I'm actually a member. And if you think about it, if she's with Olivia, she's probably Olivia's top 3, top 4. Okay, well, that's better than being the 10th rookie.
Yes, but you're only saying that because you watch 41 seasons and 15 spinoffs. These people probably don't have that kind of encyclopedic knowledge. Now, I want to go ahead and circle back and bring it back to CT and Turbo.
Yeah, this is obviously just like a language barrier type thing, because when he's sitting here talking about, and he's like, He's like, you threw it and you disrespect, you don't feel sad about that, about her going in. And CT's like, I do feel sad. I do feel terrible. I didn't throw it. We're grown adults. Conversation ends there. I can only take you at your word. What are we going to keep arguing about? Like, I'm not going to convince you and make you be like, all right, you're right. I did throw it after I've told you 25 times I didn't. I'm finally going to cave and I'm just going to give it. No. And so I'm actually I'm upset with Nani. I'm upset with Lee. I'm upset with all the vets on how they talked about CT and how they talked to him, to be honest.
I am not. I think they're 100%. I think a significant part of the vets think that CT did throw it. I think they fully understand that.
Yeah.
And I don't think they particularly care because, it puts somebody who's rookie on the line. For Turbo, this doesn't make sense. I get that Turbo can be very, very intense, and I do think the language barrier came into effect somewhat. But Turbo, why are you falling on your sword for a rookie girl that you have no connection to? Even though Leka is extremely freaking likable, and I think she is one of the better girls, which my opinion changes later on in the episode. But Turbo, why? Tomorrow is a guy's day. Granted, I do think CT is going to be considered just from his performance a little bit. And, the rookies are gaining. But why are you putting yourself on the mantle for this? I'm not mad at Nani because Nani came through just to protect Turbo. And I think she did the right thing. It's like, listen, Turbo's in the mood. He's not going to listen to anything you have to say right now. Just give him some time. And it'll go away. I thought CT did a good job at trying to I think he tried to de-escalate after it escalated, because, CT is still CT. He still runs hot sometimes. But afterwards, he's like, hey, give me a hug. Let's at least piece it away. I thought Turbo was a little bit out of line. I didn't understand his behavior and why to do it. I do understand that he runs on a kind of an old school honor system, which I do understand, and respect. But it seemed just really out of place in the challenge house. So I'm not on anybody's side with this. I think everybody could have used a nice tall glass of Lou. Shut the hell up.
I mean, here's the problem. As soon as you open up the gates where you can openly criticize every single person for their mistakes and their performances, that gate's open for you. If Turbo flops in the next daily, instantly has to be like, man, Turbo, you're not that good. You're terrible at this game. You clearly can't compete. You should go in instead of wasting everybody else's time.
That's a criticism.
You open up the floodgates, though.
CT throwing the challenge is par for the course. He's opened himself up to that because of his performance on the girls' days and his history of throwing dailies. He, while I don't agree with it, deserves it.
But here's the thing, though. Leka is one of the few rookies that is willing to kind of work with vets. She respects the history of all people.
Listen, and I give Leka her flowers because she actually handled all of that with understanding in class, and she could have been throwing a fucking fit, and she had every right to. So I love how she kept it classy.
She's just an athlete, though. So it's like one of those things of like, that's just the situation you're in.
You had a bad game.
If you worry about this, you're not going to be ready for that. So it's simple as that.
100%. I really do like Leka. But what has been one of my biggest criticism of past seasons has become one of my favorite things of this season, and that is just the spicy as fuck nominations. Izzy is thrown in. She's the decoy, which Olivia susses out. We'll get into that in a moment. But I really just want to get into the mechanics of the nominations a little bit. One of the first things I want to start off with is the absolute way how Leroy controlled the situation with Lizzie. I loved every bit of that. I love how he stood firm, and it may have come off as strong-arming a little bit, but I was okay with this because I do think at some points, as a vet, it's kind of like the vet courtesy. What did you take of supposedly Leroy's strong-arming Izzy during the nominations?
It'll come back to benefit him. As soon as Anissa's hit between Leroy and somebody else, it'll come back to benefit him. Leroy is loyal. That's his thing. And all this like Leo and Sydney and other rookies like making fun of like or talking about we're here to win. We don't care about going to other people's weddings or being there for their kid. Like that's not what this is about. It's like, yeah, but those are real life things.
Right.
This is such a short period of time of your life where yeah, winning is great, but when you leave this game, if you are only about this game, future seasons, you're going to get just ripped apart when you don't have half the house automatically in your alliance just because you're all new. Not even because you guys want to play the same game. It's only because you're new. That's it. And so there's too much arrogance to it behind it and too much making fun of it. And it's like that those things should be real because real life relationships create real true alliances.
And how many times have you heard people voted in like, hey, you're cool, no problem with you, but we haven't talked game all season. We don't know you. We don't know you, so we're going to throw you in. And also, alliances can change. You might be in a rookie revolution now, but some of those rookies are going to end up in Team UK. Some of them are going to end up aligning with Bananas. Some of them is going to end up, being with Josh, Fessy, and Tori in them. Mm-hmm. So, and I would love to get into that if you feel like, a Devin and Tori, Josh, and Fessy. Are we missing them? Who would have been great for this season? Amber B and Nerese would have been absolutely awesome to have.
Yeah.
Actually awesome to have. But also back with the nominations, Leo, for all of the praise we have for him this episode, pulls something that we've seen from Turbo and other people in the past, and that's a long speech. And we don't have to stay here for too long, but I was thoroughly annoyed, but probably not nearly as annoyed as the rest of the challengers who had to actually listen to him.
I mean, he was really trying hard to like say something. Like that's what he just really wanted to say something. Like he wanted everybody to hear it and just be like, "Whoa, all right." But instead, it came across, as the kids would say, as negative aura. Like he just lost points, and it was like, dude, stop talking, man. Negative There's no aura. There's no aura there. But for real, I mean, it's too much, and it's like, really get to the point. And explaining too much almost can open and expose stuff in your game that it doesn't need to. I'm not saying this did, but that it really could. Where sometimes it's better just to be like, you know what, this is who we're voting for. And I'm not going to tell you why.
Yeah, I love stuff like that, and we've seen it too with double agents and stuff. When people would come in like, "Oh, who do you want?" Hey, you figure it the fuck out. We're saying nothing. Yeah. Love that. I want to go ahead and move on and talk about the Golden Girl, Olivia.
Yeah, I mean, she is the star of the show. Not even Golden Girls are talking about old, but I mean, it is. She's in front of us for everything.
100%. Izzy was able to come with her and spill the whole misdirection plot. I love the fact that she went in and approached Leo directly and was just like, this is what you should do. This is why you should save me. This is how it's working. And she still found herself voted in to elimination against her good friend Olivia. I think the rookies pulled off real interesting how you look at it. I think a lot of stuff went the right way, but it just went wrong when we got down to the elimination. But she went from being the most protected girl to being up against, her friend in elimination, and then finds herself voted in. To me, it's almost just like, man, you talked yourself from safety into danger. We should talk about how Olivia, I don't know, maybe her fall from grace for these past couple of episodes.
I think the big thing we have to understand though is that Olivia is better than everybody I think thinks in the show. Anybody that watches the show or has been on the show, I feel like they don't really respect Olivia because she is one of those, she's a vet by definition, but she still feels new. I mean, she debuted on 38. So literally this is just her fourth opportunity in 4 seasons to be on the show. But she showed that she is somebody that when backed into a corner can get herself out. And that is, she just looks like one of those challenge mainstay long-term we will always talk about. Granted, she's having a baby soon, so we don't know if that's going to be the case, but this 4-season run that she's been on has been really good.
I think it's been great and fantastic. She came in likable, came in partnered with a beast in Horacio. She has found herself in front of the camera. She's found herself in awesome relationships. Um, I think it's great, and I think she's taken a tumble, and I think we'll be able to tell a lot from her to see how she gets this figured out. She's going to have to find herself into elimination. She's going to find herself, managing alliances. I think she's doing a
Right.
great job in managing Team UK, even though she's not part of UK, but is in it by way of relationship. I do think the fall from grace is a hard thud, but it's all gonna depend on how she fights out of it, which it seems like she's doing good because she started off doing it pretty well when it came down to elimination. Elimination comes down to Olivia and Leka, and the name of it was Out of Time. You got 2 ramps with rollers. You got to run up, hit the button, jump back. You got to do this for 5 minutes. Not a long time, but it's definitely action packed. It's definitely going to be endurance. It's funny because, when Sydney and Leo is up there, and they're just like, Leo's like, oh yeah, Leka did it. She goes, I don't know. I think Olivia has better cardio, which means it was because it wasn't apparent to me watching the season that Leka's cardio may even be in question. So,
Right.
also, one great thing about these past couple of days is I feel so vindicated for not liking Sydney. I do not like her at all. I like
Yeah.
absolutely nothing about her. And that was before she was running her mouth on Twitter. I was just like, oh, thank God. I knew you was. He was like, thank God, you are exactly who I thought you were. And that freaking wave doing it. But you know what? I'm not here to dump on Sydney. But let's talk about the elimination. Great elimination. Leka started off strong and then died. Pulled a Zach, pulled a Leroy, pulled a Laurel, pulled a Paulie, who we love,
It's
but
pace.
died on the treadmill.
It is all about pace, though. It is all about, instead of, as we were saying it, sitting there, it was like CT pro tip. Once you get a lead, just maintain it. As soon as Leka had hit that last hit a buzzer to get on the board before Olivia, it should have just been, I just need to maintain this. Whatever her pace is, I do her pace. And it's not even about going faster, because you shouldn't try to go faster. And some people just want to get this big lead. And all it was is, I don't want to sit here and, like, Olivia did really well.
She
Fantastic.
did.
Probably better than people think. What
Way better
Olivia
than I
did
thought.
right was that Olivia just didn't stop going for 5 minutes. It wasn't that she was going faster than Leka. She just kept going.
Slow and
And
steady wins the race.
I mean, there was a point where she like hit the buzzer and Leka's at the other buzzer. At that point, some people might have just checked out and been like, oh, I'm already half a lap behind. But it's like, no, just keep going. And yeah, I really like how we didn't talk about this, but before that, before they went, Theo was like, if you go home, like, I'm gonna cause chaos. Like, I might not be able to win a final, which he says, Turbo, where you at? Let's go yell at Theo now. Let's go yell at him now, because if he's not here ready to win a final, like, we gotta yell at these guys. And he's like, I'll flip the house upside down. And you could see it though. I heard like Nani, and I heard Ashley, and I heard all the rookies rooting for Leka. And it is crazy the fact that some of these vets just don't still know how to play the game, where they're like, clearly rookies are trying to get out vets, yet you're cheering for Olivia to go home. Like,
Well, Olivia's a vet, but she's not playing with the vets.
no.
Listen, because and here goes the crazy thing is, and you're right. You're right. The gameplay is wrong because it's turning into rookies versus vets when it should have been Team UK versus the rookies. They should have combined forces at some point. So we still got 3 alliances, and of course, it was originally it was pretty much like Team Johnny, Team UK, and the rookies. But with Johnny taken out, it's kind of morphed into the vets, and they are kind of leaderless. This is a perfect time. I mean, I think if Leroy and Nani and CT kind of got their shit together, they can kind of lead us to the promised land, which doesn't work for CT. CT is kind of known to work more independently. There is room there to get it up. So I understand them rooting against Olivia.
But the reason why you shouldn't, and this is why they are not, like, this is why they've been faltering their whole challenge career, and they made these little
No,
mistakes.
the vets are going to get wiped out.
100%. And especially when we're talking about like some of the females there that are like, well, Olivia's not in our room with all the vets. And so it's like, yeah, but she's currently a shield. Everybody on the rookie side wants to get her out. Just let her be
But
there.
Anissa is in your room and she's actively working against you too.
Well, yeah, but I think they can beat Anissa, so they're not as worried about that.
Nobody's
But
worried. You taking Anissa to the final just means you're coming in first, second, and third.
I mean, you got to get there though. You got to get there,
You
and
do
so
got
it's
to get
like
there.
the biggest thing is that we always talk about like people, and I am not calling Anissa a layup. I'm not saying she's a layup
I am.
because here's my thing: if you have the ability to make it far in games, you're not a layup. Like that means that your social game is really good. That means you're not doing bad enough to go directly into elimination from performance on dailies. I'm just saying, especially with the way this season is. Anissa hasn't been the worst one time, not one
No, she
time.
hasn't.
And
She's actually been pretty solid.
the only reason that she was voted in is because the rookies knew that she'd be protected enough that Olivia would get voted in. Simple as that. That's why she was put up against her, because they wanted Olivia to go in. So they used her as like a thing. And then all the votes were interesting, but that's just
Yeah, the votes was interesting, but Olivia firmly gets the win. I give Leka all the credit in the world. She handled herself with class the whole time. She performed well. This, even dying for a significant amount of time doing this, Olivia only won by 2. So she kept it close the whole time. I would have loved to see Leka more this season. I'm really excited to see her more in the season. But with everything that's happening, I would love to know how how these power rankings have gotten shaken up.
it's still so interesting the way that the teams are always switching, and the whoever's in power kind of switches, and you never know who's going to be with what, where they're at, and everything. So it's hard to kind of really rank everybody. But if we're starting at number 5, we have Turbo. Turbo was number 2 last week. He takes a little fall, because I just don't think that his performance was that great to where he should be like talking smack on CT. I did not like that whole interaction type thing. I'm on a different side than everybody else, but Turbo, when I say his performance wasn't good enough, he's not winning every daily. Like he's not in all
Right.
his power. Turbo has 4 like top 4 finishes, but he also has no control or no power on the game. So it's like it's a middle ground of where I put him. Sydney moves up to 4. Sydney is consistently doing pretty well. She's had 5 placements out of the 6 dailies. She kind of, I mean, she lost a number, but she's showing that no matter who she's kind of working with, she can do well in a daily. Like when you're consistently up there, that says something.
I am going to jump for joy the episode that she gets flung. I cannot
But
wait.
production must like her because she gets more confessionals than any other rookie. So like production clearly likes her and production wants her on. She is a chaos type player,
She
and
is.
those players are good for the show in the future. They really are.
Her and Amanda would get along great.
Oh man, I don't know about that. They'd hate each other. Can you imagine like her and Laurel? Actually, she'd probably be friends with Laurel, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that.
I have Leo at 3. Now Leo has the least amount of points out of everybody here. Leo only has 11 points, which honestly, like two top 8 performances would be enough to get you there. He has an 8th place finish, a 7th place finish, and a 1st place finish. That's it. But what he does have is he's the voice of the voiceless, you know. You can take a little CM Punk, you know, from there, and he just has all the rookies corralled. He has a game plan, he has a mission, and he's working on executing it right now. However, he is the head of the snake, it appears. It could be a big target for him.
Oh,
And
it will.
After his speech at nominations, they might get into a situation where rookies have to vote him in, and it's going to be like, well, you said this is just a game. It's cool. It's cool. Doesn't matter if we're friends. So I'm going to throw you in. It might happen and come back and bite him.
Leo, don't get me wrong. I love what Leo is doing. I respect it, and we need more of that. Leo is going to be public enemy number 1, and Olivia is going to eat his fucking food. 3 episodes, he's out.
As soon as a rookie gets last and then a vet wins the daily, it is going to be, they're going to be slaughtered. Number 2 is Michaela, falls down 1 spot. Really, nothing really affects her game, except for the only part is that a really strong female competitor went home, and because of that, it kind of balanced everything.
Well, looks like we lost Tyler. I think at number 1, he's still going to have Olivia because she's won the whole thing. And that's probably going to do it for us. Well, I am MTV Malik. He was Tyler Lowder. This is Love, War, Challenges. Make sure you listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app. Peace.